What to do, party people? Today I'm working in Beverly Hills, and I've got the luxury of working in the front seat of my car. The subject's about their house is about 4 blocks away down a cul-de-sac, and I'm kind of perched up on a little side street waiting for them to drive past on the main street. With that said, today we're talking code fives, right? We're in Beverly Hills. And the reason why we call them in is to let the police know that, hey, everything is going to be okay, right? Um, Probably one of the reasons why Beverly Hills is the hardest city to work, right? You've got camera, 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 cameras everywhere. You got private security, you got cops. You know, it's just like a really difficult place to work. So to keep people at ease, we call them the code fives. Also kind of reminds me of a little funny story. We actually, at Paramount, we typically don't call in code fives. The only two reasons why we call them in is for if the neighbors look a little sketch or they're kind of seem a little antsy, we'll call the code five in. In Beverly Hills, we'll typically call them in Beverly Hills for the sheer fact of just things can go sideways. And speaking of going sideways, this is why we typically don't call in code fives. It's about maybe 10, 15 years ago. I had about 10 years on the job, and another guy that was much older than me just thought he was going to like show me the ropes, right? And so, of course, I'm going to let him. Like, why should I sit up and, take all the action that day? I'm going to sit back and let this guy show me how it's done. So he calls me up and he's like, hey, Ken, like, what's your license plate? Okay, great. You're on the 100 block, blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah. And he, okay, great. And maybe like 2-3 minutes later, I just see like cop cars, sirens, everything flying right past me. And I could see the other investigator in my rear view. And I'm just like going, oh my goodness, like what happened? And so the cops all pounce on his car, grab him out at gunpoint, rip him out of the car, right? So later, come to find out, and of course, the person we're watching was like down the street, and they come out, and they're talking with all the cops, and this is the person that we're supposed to be watching out on an injury. So this person's talking to all the cops. My other investigator is like prone down on the floor at gunpoint. It's just like a complete chaos. So then, reflecting back on the day and having new information to work with after he spoke with the police, what had happened was the other investigator, unbeknownst to him, was parked out in front of a Long Beach police officer's, like, sergeant's house. So when he called in the code 5, he didn't give a 100 block, he gave an address. And so Long Beach PD was like, all right, boys and girls, it's time to roll. So with that said, that is the reason why I personally rarely and only call in code 5s for 2 occasions: Beverly Hills and if the neighbors are getting squirrely. How about for all you other investigators? What are your beliefs on code 5s? Let me know in the comments below.